Welcome back to another Pokemon Falling Friday, home of the OG weekly market updates, where every Friday morning we go through last week's sales of sealed Pokemon products and Pokemon cards that are currently going down in price. And we do also cover any big Pokemon news, like cards are set to get revealed. And we do have to do the question of the day: what Pokemon would you guys rather get rid of, Arbok or Weezing? And I do have to announce the winner from my last buyer point of view video, and that is that Kelly Theed. So just shoot me an email or hit me up on Instagram. I'll get those cards sent out to you. We do have to give a quick thanks to our video sponsor real quick, and that is Collectr. This app is the best of the best when it comes to tracking your collection. No other app even compares. I have tried every single one of them, and they're always trying to improve by adding new cards, boxes, and features. So let us know down below if there's anything you want them to fix or work on or add. And I have been recently adding a ton of new stuff to my Collectr. It honestly gets pretty addicting, and they have a super cool social aspect to it where you can share your collection with your friends and family and check out other people's collections. You can even go to the home screen, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you can click on my collection and see what I have. But definitely check them out. I'll have all the links in the description. They also do crazy giveaways, so make sure you follow them on all their socials. And of course, you guys want to try out PSA for your first time, click the link, use the code BEARD25 to get $25 off. And if you guys want to try out Tag for the first time, click the link, use the code BEARD10, you'll get 10% off your first submission. But all right, let's get into it. We got the Chilling Reign booster box. It's got all the way up to about $550. Now last sold $455, $498, $470. We got 500 with an acrylic case. Kind of a bunch in the mid 470s and a few in the 490s. Next, we have the new Chaos Rising booster box. This is coming out very soon, about a couple weeks. So this is at $275. This is pre-sale on TCG Player. And now last sold $238, $242. Most of them are all at $238. Now here's the regular Elite Trainer box, also on pre-sale for TCG Player. This was at $155. Now last sold $105. All at $105. And we have the Pokemon Center ETB. Now this was at $510 on TCG Player. Now all last sold is between $370 to $440. But look what it is actually selling for on eBay. So we're on 130 points showing, the actual sales on eBay if it was like a best offer. We got a Pokemon Center ETB right here at $169. We got two of them at $332. Another one here at $204. Two at $400. Another one here at $200. One at $143. Another one at $150. So it looks like it's ranging from about $150 to $200 of Pokemon Center ETB. Quite the difference from $370. That's why I always recommend not buying stuff on, pre-order on TCG Player, because only a limited amount of sellers are able to sell during this time. The regular ETB and the booster box, they're a lot closer to what they're actually selling for on eBay. But you can also find the Chaos Rising booster box a lot closer to just like $200 or $210 instead of the $230. And the regular ETB, it's also about $100 on eBay. Next, we have the Obsidian Flames booster box. This is going crazy, got up to $375. Now last sold $369, $366, $365, $342. So just starting to retrace a little bit. And we have the Prismatic Evolution Super Premium Collection. This got up to $390, dropped down to $325, went back up to $359. Now last sold $302, $299, $290. And also the Pokemon Center Prismatic Evolutions is dropping in price. It's got up to $575, dropped down to $540, went right back up to $590. Now last sold $530, $528, $516. So we got four of them at $540, and we got a couple high ones at $488, but that was now about a week ago. So yeah, all last sold is $530. We can get it shipped right now from a legit seller for $530. Next, we have the Prismatic Evolutions Booster Bundle. It's got up to $95. Now last sold pretty much all at around $85. We got a couple high ones at $94, $99, and one low one at $75. Next, we have the 151 Booster Bundle. This thing went crazy, got up to $230. Now last sold $218, $214, $199, $195. Next, we have the Destin Rivals Booster Bundle. So we had a couple really fake sales, and it went all the way up to literally like $180. Yeah, $188. We had 7 items sold. But now last sold $74, $82, $69, bunch at $69. And at $69 compared to the rest of the booster bundles, I feel like it's a little undervalued, but not $188. It's crazy. Next, we have the Mega Evolution regular ETB. This got up to about almost $106. Now last sold $103, $94, $92, $95, $98. A couple more at $100. One at $88. Next, we have the regular Pitch Black ETB. This is on pre-order. Was at 176. Now last sold all at 148. Next, we have the Pokemon Center Pitch Black ETB. We have one sale at $650 on TCG Player, which is hilarious. And we have the Pitch Black Booster Box. Last sold for this one, all at about $275. Now, if we hop to 130 point, we got the regular ETB 130, Pokemon Center ETB 230. We got another regular ETB at 175. Not a ton of Pokemon Center ETBs yet. Looks like the average price for the regular one on eBay is about $130. Here we got a Pokemon Center one at 162, one at 230, one at 299. So definitely hold off on buying this stuff because prices are all over the place. All right, let's get into some cards. We got the Denny from Perfect Order. This was $14. Still slowly dropping. All last sold right around $6 or $7. And we got the Dracloak from Ascended Heroes. Was at 23. Now last sold 11, 10, 8, 9. So finally getting below $10. And same with the Dreepy. Was at 25. Now last sold all right around $9 to $12. We had a couple high ones at 13, but most of them are right around 11. And we have the Banette from Ascended. Was at 16. Now last sold 10, 9, 11. And we have the Cynthia Spiritomb. Was at $23. Now last sold 15, 14, 12. Next, we have the Eevee from Twilight Masquerade. This card was at $59 and went insane all the way up to about $93. Now last sold 78, 72, 73, 76. And then it goes right back to the 80s and 90s. Let's see what we can get this one shipped for. So 76 from a pretty new seller. Otherwise, it's $88 from a legit seller. Next, we have the Psyduck from Ascended Heroes. It's got up to $98. Now last sold 92, 91, 94, 87, and 88. Next, we have the Squirtle from 151. Got up to $139. Now last sold all right around $100. Couple at 99, couple at 102. Next, we have the Charmander from 151. Also got up to 156. Now last sold 110, 107, 99. Couple high ones at 125 and 115. Let's see what we can get this one shipped for. $100. It does have 100%, but not a ton of sales. Otherwise, 105. And our first legit seller is $111. Next, we have the Dawn SIR from Phantasmal Flames. Was at $38. Now last sold all right around $30. Next, we have the Stevens Metagross. Got up to $108. Now last sold $100. One low one at $66, but most of them are between $98 to like $103. Next, we have the Charizard from Obsidian Flames. Was at $119. Now last sold $95, $104, $115, $98, $96. Next, we have the Zapdos from 151. Got up to $142. Now last sold $99, $99, $103. One high one at $125. Most of them are at about $98. Next, we have the Eevee SIR from Prismatic. Got up to $199. Now last sold $168, $160. We got a couple high ones at $200 and $202, but most of them are about $175. And we have the Team Rocket's Mewtwo EX. Got up to $508. Now last sold $485, $470, $473, $469. Got a lightly played at $400. And the Pikachu doing the same thing. Got up to $495. Now last sold $485, $489, $483, $480, $479. So just retracing a little bit. Next, the Mega Gengar SIR had some crazy movement over the weekend. Tons of fake sales. This was at $1,469. And now last sold, we have one at $14 with a picture. Otherwise, $950, $495, $495, $1390, $1399, $951, $780. I mean, prices are just all over the place. But if we look and we want it from a legit seller, it's at $1,400. And a lot of times too, you know, they're Japanese versions or Korean versions and they're just not, you know, marked properly. But then again, that'll tank the graph and make it look like, you know, the card is really going down in price. Next, we have the Mega Charizard X, also with some fake sales. Last sold, we got 1,072. Otherwise, we got a 630, 485, 485, 450. And then for the real ones, you know, $887, $949, $920. Next, we have the Pikachu in the Forest. This got up to $1,170. Now last sold $1,050, $1,000, $999. Another one at $999. A couple more at $1,000, $1,100. Next, we have some promos. We have the Alakazam ETB promo. This is a regular one. Got up to $15. Now last sold $11, $12, and $10.99. Next, we have the Mega Gardevoir EX promo. This was at $19. It's the Mega Attack Rare. Now last sold, I don't know why it keeps doing that, $11, $9, $7. Next, we have the Chimchar Mega Evolution promo. Love these. It's the 30th anniversary. This was at $11. Now last sold $7 and $6, even a couple at $5. Next, we have the Turtwig. Was at $13.66. Now last sold $8, $7. Someone bought 100 of them at $8.69. That is a lot. Next, we have the Poplio. This was at $7.50. Now last sold all right around $5. We even have one at $3.80. Next, we have the Litten. Promo was at $11. Now last sold $7, $6, and $5. And we have the Rowlet. Was at $13.40. Now last sold $7, $5, and $6. Next, we have the Piplup. This was at $16.90. Now last sold $12, $11, $14. This one's starting to bounce back a little bit. Just $1 or $2. Next, we have the Gen 1s. We have the Bulbasaur. Was at $29. Now last sold $24, $25. Someone got 12 of them at $24. A couple at $23. Yeah, I really hope these keep coming down in price. Even though I bought a bunch of them, I'm just going to keep buying them as long as I possibly can. And we have the Squirtle promo. This was at $34. Now last sold $29, $30, $28. Yeah, I can technically fill an entire binder now with these promos. And I did not go crazy on the Gen 1s just because they were so expensive. And I do think we will eventually be able to get them a little bit cheaper. But the other ones, you know, if they're $6 or $7, not that big of a deal. Next, we have the Charmander. This got up to $47. Now that sold $43, $38, $44, and $42. You got one at $41. Next, we have the Haunter promo. This was at $63. Now last sold $50, $54, $53, $50, $51. Got one at $49 down there. And we're going to end on a couple of the gold cards in a PSA 10. We have the Mega Charizard X from Phantasmal. Was at $4,750. Starting to level out right now with last few sales at $2,900 and $3,000. Next, we have the Gold Mega Dragonite in a PSA 10. Started at $3,250, then dropped down to $1,699, went back up to $2,300, and now last sold in a 10 is $1,925. And last on the list, we have the Mega Charizard Y from Ascended Heroes. This was a $5,800 PSA 10 card. That is just crazy. And now last sold $5,000, and the sale before that was $4,497. So be careful buying these cards. They can definitely drop in price a lot more, especially a ton of them are not even back yet from being graded. But all right, that was today's Pokemon Falling Friday. If you guys like this content, please make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a like and comment. If you guys want to support more, check out my Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube membership, all that. You guys know what to do. You guys are the absolute best. But all right, I want you guys to have a great day. If you guys want to watch my last Pokemon Throwback Thursday where we go over the best Garchomp cards to buy, you can click that video there. Otherwise, if you guys want to check out my playlist full of all my vending videos, I would really appreciate that. But all right, we'll see you next time.